after this flight.
Hi friends, welcome to my flight experience on SQ899 from Hong Kong to Singapore. Today, I will be flying business class on the Regional A350. The SQ899 departs from Terminal 1 at 9:05 am and the morning rush seemed to be in full swing. There was a line at the business class check-in, but it moved swiftly and in less than 10 minutes I got my boarding pass and headed to immigration. Immigration, however, was a different story. It was packed with people and the lines were long. One thing I have to commend the airport for was how efficiently they handled it. Despite the long lines, I was through immigration in 15 minutes. The business class flight experience is not complete without a visit to the lounge. Recently reopened in August 2023 after a hiatus of more than 3 years, Hong Kong is one of only 4 Singapore Airlines outstations to have a dedicated first class and business class SilverKris Lounge, the others being Melbourne, Sydney and London. The lounge is located at the main departure hall, level 6, near gate 5, a short walk from immigration. The lounge comes in at 913 square meters and was last refurbished in 2014, where they introduced a home away from home design concept, now found in SilverKris outstation lounges across the network. Walking into the lounge, I realized the lack of natural lighting and the use of fluorescent lighting. I did not particularly like the vibe of the lounge as it reminded me of an outdated 2000s looking clubhouse design. Compared to the chic SilverKris Lounge in Changi Airport Terminal 3, which was overhauled recently during the pandemic, the Hong Kong lounge is certainly a far cry from it. But as far as outstation lounges go, this will have to do. The buffet line was nothing spectacular, consisting mostly of standard continental breakfast fares like eggs, bacon and toasted bread. There was also a local selection of dim sum. It was 8 am and I wasn't particularly hungry, so I settled for a refreshing sparkling water. At this point, boarding has already commenced. I quickly finished my drink and off to the gate we go. My boarding gate was gate 69. The check-in agent did caution me that the gate was far, but at that point I thought to myself, how far can it be? Okay, I should have listened. It took me 15 minutes and a mixture of SkyTrain and walking to reach the gate. Not ideal, but I got there just in time. Probably 10 minutes before they closed the gate. I was greeted by the in-flight manager, the most senior ranking cabin crew in Singapore Airlines hierarchy, and headed to my seat for today, 17A. On the Regional A350, there are 2 sections in business class separated by a bulkhead, with rows 11 to 18 in the forward section and rows 19 to 21 in the aft section of business class. The seats on the Regional A350 are the Stelia Aerospace Symphony, an off-the-shelf product which is also used by airlines such as Turkish Airlines and China Airlines. These aircrafts are used on regional routes in Asia Pacific up to around 8 hours of flight time. For the welcome drink, I went for the lovely Charles Heidsieck Brut Reserve Champagne. Yes, I know, champagne at 9 am. Well, nothing like a little day drinking. Along with the welcome drink, Singapore Airlines offers a refreshing hot towel on all cabin classes with their signature floral scent called the Batik Flora. I think it's a brilliant branding move on Singapore Airlines' part, as scent memory can invoke strong emotional responses. Just think of the smell of your mum's home-cooked food during your childhood. Invokes a certain emotional response, doesn't it? The Criswell entertainment system on Singapore Airlines is world-class. There's a huge selection of movies, TV shows, music albums and games. Whatever you fancy, Criswell probably has it. On the left-hand side of your seats, there are reading lights which can be controlled at varying intensities for all 3 positions: upright, lounging and full flat. Near the entrance to the seat for seat 17A, there's reading materials and a safety card, and this little cubby for storing your small items. It can fit loose items like your phones and chargers, but it's definitely not big enough for a laptop. And also an international power outlet with 2 USB-A ports. Before long, boarding was completed. I was one of the last passengers on board. We pushed back at 9:13, 8 minutes past departure time, and made our long trek to runway 7 right. Can you believe that the Singapore Airlines safety video is almost 7 years old? it still remains one of the most iconic and well-made safety video in the industry. Tasteful and classy. It wasn't a long taxi in terms of distance, but due to the morning rush, there was a long queue for the runway and we taxied for about 30 minutes. I fell asleep during the taxi and sadly I wasn't able to record the takeoff as my camera ran out of battery. Finally, at 9:43 AM, we rode down runway 7 right, bound for Singapore Changi Airport. Singapore Airlines provides a noise-cancelling Bose headset with ear covers for hygiene. The noise-cancelling makes all the difference to drown out the already soft hum of the A350. I gotta say, it's pretty good audio experience. As breakfast service commences, the in-flight manager lays my table with a tablecloth. We start with a fruit platter consisting an assortment of fruit, croissant from the bread selection, and a choice of Bircher muesli or flavoured yogurt, of which I chose the Bircher muesli. I'm hesitant to try coffee in general as I am a professional coffee taster, but the coffee genuinely surprised me. I expected bitter, burnt, rubbery tasting coffee, but what I got was a high quality commercial coffee with minimal bitterness and acidity and a slight floral character coming through. The fruit platter consisted of a slice of papaya, rose apple, honeydew, pineapple, and some grapes. However, I didn't enjoy the Bircher muesli at all. It was this oats and milk concoction and was extremely sweet to the point where I wanted to puke. I stopped eating after a few bites. For the main course, I pre-ordered my meal through Singapore Airlines Book the Cook. It was a grilled fillet of beef with shallot tarragon sauce. The tenderloin was virtually well done, but it tasted great and the beef wasn't tough. The side of mashed potatoes and French beans were good as well. Overall, a yummy main course, only let down by the overdone beef. To pair with my main course, I had an Australian Shiraz from Dandelion Vineyards. Delicious. As it was breakfast service, the crew seemed a little hesitant when I requested for wine. After a hearty meal service, I paid the toilet a visit, and what can I say? It's an aircraft toilet. It's not a first-class toilet, that's for sure. There were amenities like fragrances and lotion, but on a short flight, I wasn't all that keen on using any of those. But the best part about this toilet, the rubbish bin, I mean, it's just an awesome user experience. Unlike the long-haul business class product on Singapore Airlines, you do not need to stand up to convert the seat into a bed. It's all done from the control panel. There are two settings, lounge and full flat. A plush pillow and a blanket were provided, but I didn't use it on this short day flight. Sadly, all good things must come to an end. In summary, I really enjoyed this flight. The service, as usual, was immaculate. The crew were attentive and prompt in attending to any of my needs. These are the things that keeps you coming back to fly business class on Singapore Airlines. The hard product is great, but what makes it amazing is the soft product and the human touch. As we approach Singapore, the landing music started to play on the PA system. I have to say, it's a smart move on Singapore Airlines' part to use sonic branding. The music invoked a sense of wonder and adventure. It just rounds out the entire experience, all the way from boarding to deplaning. Are there things that Singapore Airlines can do better? Of course. The catering quality on this flight was not up to snuff. The muesli bowl was really bad and my steak was overcooked. The SilverKris Lounge in Hong Kong is in dire need of a facelift. It's 10 years old and starting to look and feel very outdated. The best part about this flight was the lovely in-flight manager. He was so proactive in meeting my needs just from observing things that I was doing. He suggested that I could take another seat for takeoff if it gave me a better outside view for my videos. Mid-flight, he saw me making coffee and without asking, he provided me with wet wipes, serviettes and a spoon. Personal touches like these made this flight very enjoyable. What are some of your experiences of the service on board Singapore Airlines? Positive like mine? Share them in the comments section below.